again whenever you are ready. All right, let's start. Lying down. Any comfortable position for you. Taking a moment here to connect to your breath. Noticing how it feels today. Perhaps taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. On your exhales, letting go of your day, your week so far, any thoughts that you don't need during our time here together. Trust that you can return to them later if you wish, or maybe you allow them to go. So we've been working our way through the yamas, which are kind of like yoga's ethical practices. It's supposed to be the way that we interact with the world around us, but I also believe it should be the way we treat ourselves as well. So today is Brahmacharya. In the modern day, it is translated to mean temperance, self-regulation, proper use of energy. We can use Brahmacharya to guide our physical yoga practice to the appropriate edge, spending energy where it's needed and not where it isn't. Energy, while renewable, is not infinite. We have a limited supply of energy, especially for the duration of our yoga practice. Brahmacharya is about approaching personal energy with honesty and wisdom. During our practice today, notice if it feels like you're feeling pressure to keep up with me or someone else. Maybe you feel like you need to go far in order to experience the pose. But consider whether or not taking the pose or moving deep into the pose is helpful. Your practice is about your body and no one else's. On the other hand, if you're the type of person to shy away from taking it to the next level, consider stepping outside of your comfort zone a little. Outside of that bubble of familiarity is where we have the opportunity to grow. So today I invite you to move with a sense of honesty about where you are at and what you need. So finding a little bit of movement here in your fingers and toes. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. And then whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then making your way up to seated. Any comfortable seated position here. We're finding your sits bones sitting up nice and tall. Find a little bit of movement here with the arms. So allowing the shoulders to relax back and down your spine, and then bringing the hands out towards the side, palms face up towards the sky. On your inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, interlacing the fingers, allowing the palms to stretch out. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arms come back up towards the sky. And exhale, arms come down by your sides. Let's see if I can remember that again. Inhale, arms reach up, fingers together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, clasp the fingers, arms come out. Exhale, round the spine and stretch. Inhale, arms come up towards the sky. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, interlace the fingers, arms come out. And exhale, round the spine, reach the arms away. Inhale, arms come up towards the sky. And exhale, hands come down by your side. All right, let's move right into a tabletop pose. If you wish, placing a blanket underneath your knees. If you want a little bit of extra padding. So in our tabletop, wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And we'll find some kind of torso circles here. So I always have a hard time explaining this one, but what we're going to do is we're going to allow the left side of the rib cage to come out to the side, kind of like if we were to come into a C shape, looking over towards the right, hips towards the right. And then we're going to allow the back body to come up towards the sky, kind of like into a cat pose. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. And then send the rib cage over towards the right side. Find that C shape on the other side. Allowing the navel to come down towards the earth. Tailbone comes up towards the sky into a cow pose. And then move back over into that C shape with the rib cage coming out to the left, looking over the right. So just moving here at your own pace, you're making big circles. Maybe you move slow. Maybe you move a little bit faster. Gripping your fingers into the earth. If you need to hang out in a stretch somewhere, feel free to do so, listening to your body. All right, and then we're going to go the opposite direction. This is the part that's always confusing in my head. I'm not sure if you two were here when I mentioned it before. I suck at hula hoop. So this is difficult, but it's interesting. All right, beautiful. Let's come back to a tabletop pose. And then we're going to come into child's pose, big toes together. If you wish, knees come apart, arms coming long. Melting the heart down towards the earth. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. So from here, I invite you to come up onto fingertips, keeping the head down, just fingertips come to the earth. Notice what you feel along your back body. All right, placing the hands back down towards the earth and come back into your tabletop pose. All right, so balancing cat. Bring the right arm out in front, rolling the right shoulder, back and down the spine, and then reaching the left leg long. So we want to draw the navel in. Imagine a string pulling it up towards the sky. Grip the fingers of the left hand and push away from the earth. Maybe even activating the toes on the left foot. Let's find a couple more rounds of breath here. And then maybe you stay here, or perhaps you try a little bit of balance. Right arm comes out towards the right side, left leg comes out towards the left side. Keep pushing into that left hand, grip the fingers, push away from the earth, find your balance. Inhale, let's come back to our balancing cat. Exhale, tabletop. Other side, left arm comes long, rolling the left shoulder back and down the spine, right leg comes long. Draw the belly button in, grip the fingers of the right hand, push into the earth. I guess you're pushing away from the earth is really what you're doing. Looking down at the earth, even if you want to look at me right now. 2 more rounds of breath here. And then perhaps you find that little bit of extra challenge. Arm comes out to the side, leg comes out to the side. Be mindful of anything around you. Inhale, allowing everything to come back to center, balancing cat. Exhale, back to your tabletop. We're going to come into a child's pose with a different variation in the arms. So coming back, knees together or knees apart. Arms come out long. If you need a block or something to place underneath your forehead, feel free to grab one. And then we're going to bring the hands together and clasp the hands. And then sending the hands back towards behind your head. Perhaps you feel a bit of a stretch here along the backs of the arms. Two more rounds of breath. Then releasing your hands down towards the earth. Let's make our way into our tabletop pose. Curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back, downward dog. So as much of a bend in your knees as you need. Maybe you find some gentle movement here in your downward dog, perhaps just pedaling out your feet or swaying hips from side to side. Most important thing is to roll the shoulders back and down the spine. So we're unshrugging our shoulders and trying not to lock out the elbows. All right, so from here, let's bring the right foot up towards the sky into a 3-legged dog. Bending the right knee and opening the hips towards the right side. Perhaps you look underneath your left arm to see the foot. Maybe you don't see it, doesn't matter. Keeping your shoulders squared towards the earth. All right, let's come back into our 3-legged dog. Reach the right leg up high. Shifting your weight forward and stepping the right foot through. Let's come into a lunge. So what kind of lunge do you need? Is it knee down or knee up? Making sure the right knee is over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Shoulders soften. We want to take a look at our hands. Often the hands are facing forward. We want to turn them so that we're rotating the pinkies forward. That helps to soften the shoulders a little bit more. Gives us a little more space in the shoulders. All right, so this is all about moderation, finding what could be called the middle path or where you need to be, finding balance. So keeping your legs wherever you feel you need to be, we're going to find a twist. So perhaps it is arms out to the side and turning towards the right side. Or maybe it's hands at heart center, left elbow comes to the outside of the right thigh, pushing into the thigh to help you turn. So how deep of a twist can you come into that is not too much and not too little? All right, let's bring the hands down towards the earth, framing the front foot. Step back into three-legged dog. Right foot comes up towards the sky. Shifting your weight forward, send that right foot to the outside of the right hand. All right, maybe you stay up here on your toes. Or perhaps you drop the left knee to the earth. All right, left hand stays underneath the shoulder, right hand reaches up towards the sky. Right hand comes down towards the earth. Ready? Step back into three-legged dog if you can. Maybe it's downward dog and then three-legged dog, right foot up towards the sky. We're going to bend the knee once again. Open the hips towards the right side once again. Soften the shoulders. Come back into three-legged dog. Shifting your weight forward, right foot steps through between the hands, left foot follows. Forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart, allowing the upper body to dangle and find as much of a bend in your knees as you need so there's no discomfort here. So what feels good for you in your upper body? Maybe arms continue to dangle. Maybe you grab a hold of opposite elbows. Or perhaps you clasp hands behind your low back. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. And extending the arms up high. So find the one that works for you. Two more rounds of breath here. And then releasing your hands down towards the earth, deep bend in your knees, step back into your variation of a plank pose. Knees down or knees up. Draw the navel in. And then shifting your weight forward, drop the knees if you haven't already, tuck the elbows, come down towards the earth. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Let's find a baby cobra. Hands come underneath the shoulders, tuck the elbows, lift the heart, tops of the feet push down towards the earth. Maybe hands come up off the earth. All right, lowering down towards the earth and either reverse push-up or tabletop downward dog. Let's see if I can remember all that on the other side. Left foot comes up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Bending the left knee and opening the hips towards the left side. Perhaps you look under the right arm, keeping the shoulders square towards the earth. There's a method to my madness. Yeah. All right, back to your three-legged dog. Shifting your weight forward, step the right foot through between the hands. So we're going to find a lunge here. Again, where do you need to be? Knee down or knee up? Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Soften the shoulders, turning the pinkies forward. So notice if you can find a balance here between effort and ease. Maybe you put a little more effort into it, squeezing the inner thighs, and find ease in the shoulders. So find a moderation here. And then take your variation here of a twist. What do you need? Maybe it's arms out to the side, or maybe it's hands to heart center, finding that twist. Hands, prayer twist. Inhale, arms come back up to center. Exhale, hands come down towards the earth. Can you step back into three-legged dog? Left foot comes up towards the sky. Feel free to come to downward dog first if you need, or maybe you just hang out in downward dog. Shifting your weight forward, this time stepping your foot towards the outside of the left hand. Knee can come down or stay up. We're going to find our hand down twist. Right hand underneath the shoulder. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Roll the left hip back. Left hand comes back down towards the earth. Can you come right into a three-legged dog? Left foot up towards the sky. Bending the knee once again, open the hips once again towards the left. Maybe you look under the right. Go back into three-legged dog. Shifting your weight forward, stepping the left foot through. Right foot follows, forward fold. Again, finding the forward fold that feels good for you. We want a little stretch and a little relaxation. Finding 2 more rounds of breath here. And then we're going to step both feet back into your plank. Grip the fingers into the earth. Push the earth away. Shifting your weight forward, knees to the earth, tuck the elbows and lower. So what back bend do you need here? Maybe it's baby cobra, sphinx, full cobra. Tops of the feet push down to the earth. Unshrugging the shoulders. Whether you're in baby cobra or full cobra, tucking the elbows in by your sides, trying not to lock out the arms. One more round of breath here. And then let's all make our way into tabletop and back into child's pose. So this time in child's pose, I invite you to find a different variation. And this time bringing the hands back by your feet, palms face up towards the sky. Taking deep inhales. And long, slow exhales. And take this time to rest and breathe. And look again at your energy. There's no need to rush through this rest practice or this rest part of our practice. It is necessary and important for our practice. Allow yourself to soften in this space. The right energy for right now is the energy of softening and releasing. Two more rounds of breath. And then making your way back into your tabletop pose. All right, the last time we're going to come into downward dog, I promise. Curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back behind you. So one card I pulled is Wild Thing or Flipping the Dog. So feel free to come into it if you want. If not, maybe you hang out in downward dog, three-legged dog, or perhaps you return to child's pose. So we'll start right foot coming up towards the sky for Wild Thing. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, grip the fingers. Bending the right knee, opening the hips towards the right side. Pivoting on the left foot, allowing the right foot to come down towards the earth. Placing your weight into your left hand, right hand reaches up. Send the hips up towards the sky. Maybe that right arm reaches back behind you. Hey, good practice for our bridge. Gently pivoting your way back into your downward dog. I said last downward dog. We have to do both sides. So let's shift our weight forward into plank. Shift a little bit more forward, drop the knees, tuck the elbows, come down towards the earth. Find your back bend of choice. Release tension that you feel here in your wrists, maybe even bringing fingertips to the earth like we did earlier in our child's pose. All right, and then reverse push-up or tabletop, downward dog. This side is always interesting to flip because there's a wall for me. All right, so again, where do you want to send your energy? What kind of energy do you want to spend? Do you want to come into Wild Thing or maybe it's something else? Left foot reaches up towards the sky. Bend the left knee. Open the hips towards the left side. Maybe you stay here or maybe you start to pivot on the back foot, allowing the right foot to, left foot to come down towards the earth. Spin, spin, spin. Right hand to the earth, left hand reaches up, maybe back. Send the hips up. That's it. Find where you need to be. All right, let's come back to downward dog. Shift forward into a plank pose and drop the knees. Come back into child's pose. In your child's pose, I invite you to roll out your wrists, rolling them one way and then the other. All right, let's make our way into tabletop and then into seated. So from seated, we're going to come into nose to knee. I always want to say knee to nose, which is not right. Don't do that. So we'll start right leg out long. Left foot's going to come in. So we want the right foot to be out in front of us, and we want to activate the right foot. Finding your sits bones, finding length in your spine. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forward. Maybe the hands walk out in front. So we want to try and keep a nice straight line in the spine. Keep the right foot active. If it feels uncomfortable along the back of the knee, try pushing the right heel into the earth. If that still is uncomfortable, maybe you find a rolled up blanket to place underneath the knee. Keep finding length in your spine. Keep reaching the heart towards the toes. All right, if you don't have any low back issues, maybe you round, come down a little further. Right foot is active, slowly walking the hands back up, coming up to seated. And then we're gonna find a twist. So seated twist was one of the cards I pulled. So we'll bring the left foot to the earth, hug the left knee in, right leg stays out long. And you're gonna go as far as you feel comfortable. So maybe the foot stays here. Perhaps that right foot, or no, that foot crosses over the right leg. All right. If it's in your body, maybe you tuck the right leg under as long as the left foot and both hips come to the earth. If not, keeping the right leg out long. I'm kind of on the edge today, so okay. And we're going to turn towards the left. So we'll bring the left hand behind us. Right arm comes around that front knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the low ribs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, turning the head. With every inhale, lengthening your spine, sitting up nice and tall. And every exhale, you soften. Soften. Maybe you turn a little more. Maybe it's just finding that balance between effort and ease in this pose. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale to come back to center. All right, the other card I pulled was a baby grasshopper. So with the baby grasshopper, we want to bring the right leg out long and left foot crosses over the right leg. Okay, so you're gonna go as far as you feel comfortable. In the baby grasshopper, we're gonna bring our right hand to the floor, left hand reaches up high, find length in the spine, and then bring the left arm inside that left leg, inside the knee. You're gonna reach down for either underneath where the calf is, or if you can, reach for the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Yeah. Right hand is going to come out towards the side. You're going to bend into that elbow, creating like a shelf here. Push into the left foot, push into the right hand, and lift the hips. Keep the right foot active. Hips come up off the earth if you can. If not, doesn't matter. Slowly come back down. Release everything, shake it all out. Maybe rolling out the wrists. All right, other side. So let's draw the right knee in, right foot in, hugging the knee in, find the sits bones, and then allow that knee to drop out towards the side. Left foot is active. Find length in the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, hinging forward from the hips. So we listen to our body and try not to push too far. But also maybe finding a little bit of challenge here during our practice. Keep reaching the heart forward. And then if you don't have any low back issues, rounding the spine. Finding one more round of breath here. And then slowly walking your hands back up. All right, so right foot comes to the earth, hugging the knee in. Maybe the foot stays there. Maybe you cross the right foot over the left leg. If it's in your body, maybe you tuck the left leg under. So we want both hips to be on the earth if we do this, and we want the right foot to be on the earth. Right hand comes behind you, left arm comes around as comfortably as you can around that front knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the low ribs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, turning the head. I want to keep a nice tall spine. And continue to breathe. On your next inhale, lengthening your spine, and exhale, coming back to center. All right, baby grasshopper on the other side. So we want just the right foot crossed over the left leg. Okay, we're gonna bring our left hand out towards the side. Inhale, lengthen the spine, right hand reaches up. Exhale, reach inside that knee towards the outside of the left leg or towards the pinky toe edge, keeping the left foot active. You're gonna lean over, walk that left hand away. Sometimes we gotta walk the right foot away a little bit too. You're gonna lean into that left arm, bend into the elbow, push into the hand, push into the right foot, and lift the hip. Oh, got it. 2 more rounds of breath if you can. And then gently lower. Release, yay! We got 2 yays. Roll out the wrist, shake out the wrist, shake out the arms and the legs. There's a way to come into it from standing, but I honestly haven't tried it myself. So I'm not ready to teach it from standing, that's for sure. All right, ready? We're gonna come down onto our backs. So bridge, wheel. So onto the back, feet come to the earth about hip distance apart or 2 fist widths. Knees are bent. I think actually we're gonna do something before. So let's walk the feet out wide. Knees are still bent, and then windshield wipering the knees from side to side, just to release some tension in the low back after all the kind of forward folding sort of stuff that we did. All right, let's bring the feet back to hip distance apart. We'll start in a bridge pose, and then we'll come back to it. Either you come into bridge pose, or if you have done wheel before and you are comfortable doing it, feel free to come into wheel. If not, this is not the time to try, because you want someone there with you to spot you if you haven't done it before. So you'll just come back into bridge. All right, so feet are close to your sits bones. We'll push into the feet, lift the hips, squeeze the inner thigh. How far do you want to go in the bridge pose? Maybe the arms stay by the sides. Perhaps you grab a hold of the outer edges of your mat, pull the mat apart, push into your feet, lift your hips a little more. If it's in your body, wrapping your shoulders underneath, clasping your hands, and see if you can send your hands down towards the earth, lifting the hips a little more. Push the feet into the earth. Keep the feet active. And trying not to crunch your chin in towards your chest. Look up at the sky and breathe. Two more rounds of breath. And then slowly, if your arms are under you, unroll the shoulders and all of us slowly coming down towards the earth. Feet come wide on the mat and windshield wipering the knees from side to side. All right, so I am going to give you the choice again, bridge or wheel. I will cue wheel since I've already cued bridge. I'm gonna tuck in my shirt too. Okay, so wheel or bridge. Feet come back towards each other about hip distance apart. In our wheel pose, we bring our arms up towards the sky, bend the elbows, send the hands underneath the shoulders, fingers tucked under. Watch out for hair. Tuck the elbows in by the sides. Push into the feet, push into the hands and lift. If you're in bridge pose, find the one that feels best for you. If you come into wheel and you need to come down early, be sure to tuck the chin in first and then slowly come down. Shoulders first and then roll down. So we're going to hold 3 more rounds of breath. And then whenever you're ready, slowly coming down, tuck the chin if you're in wheel, slowly lower the head, shoulders down. All right, feet come wide on the mat, windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Rolling the wrists out, done lots of work for the wrists today. Look at that, just in time. All right, so is there another pose that you feel like you need in your body? Maybe you hug the knees in, maybe it's happy baby, maybe it's a twist of some sort. Find whatever it is that your body is asking for. So we have about a minute. All right, so let's bring the feet down towards the earth. Knees are bent. I'm going to do one more stretch for our wrists since we've done a lot of work with them today. So we do it from our backs. We're going to bring the right hand up towards the sky, the right arm, allowing the fingers to point away. Fingers are going to point towards your knees, and then taking the left hand and bringing it on top of the right hand. Maybe you gently pull the fingers down a little more, but pull from the knuckles. If you need to bend the elbows to do this, feel free to do so. And releasing the side, and we'll come over to the other side. So left hand up towards the sky, point the fingers towards your knees. Right hand comes on top of the left hand for a little bit of weight, a little bit of stretch here. So you're going to feel it along the top of the wrist. Once this side feels complete to you, releasing the arms and finding Shavasana or any final resting shape here on the earth. What will help you to relax? Returning to the sensation of your breath. I invite you to become still and go within. If you wish, identify an aspect of your life that seems to be out of balance. Could be work, relationships, finances, exercise, how you spend your free time, or something I haven't named. Once that aspect is identified, perhaps you create a positive statement around bringing that aspect into balance. For example, I want to balance the way I approach my finances. Holding your intention, your statement here in your mind in this moment of stillness. Now, can you simply be and surrender for a moment here? Experience stillness and recognize how essential stillness is if we are to remember who we are beyond the physical aspect of ourselves. and finding some small movements in your body. Perhaps those small movements become bigger movements. And whenever you are ready, you're rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then gently making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Finding the sensation of your breath. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhale. And as you inhale, inhaling self compassion, remembering the two most important things you did today were show up and breathe. Everything else was practice and exploration. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful evening.